You can stay there. Hey, everybody. Nobody on yet, but that's okay. Give a few minutes, a couple minutes for people to join on, then we'll get started. Hey, thanks for joining me tonight. My name is Andrew. Just let a couple more people join on. I've got one person right now. Don't know who that is right now. So say hi. Whoever you are, say hi. Drop me a comment real quick. Let me know who you are. Namely, first off, I want to talk about the coronavirus package. It still hadn't been, um, it still hasn't been passed yet, or even really worked on. This is kind of weird. I talked about it a little bit in my podcast, but Nancy Pelosi tried to get a legalized marijuana bill passed first before the COVID bill passed. She also tried to get a freaking Netflix style or Netflix inspired bill passed before she got the COVID relief bill passed. Netflix, Tiger King, Lion King, whatever he is, no Simba there, but Tiger King, Carol Baskin, she wanted to make a bill that would prevent people from owning, breeding, raising big cats first before COVID relief. Now, raise a hand, show of hands. How many of y'all needed that COVID release? How many COVID relief? How many of y'all need it right now? One of you right now that's online. I'm sure more people are going to join on, hopefully, but that's I said it in my podcast, my recorded podcast as well. That's our money. What are they doing with it? Why are they holding it up from us? I mean, every single check that I've earned since I was 16, every single check that you earn, you pay taxes. Why are they holding that money up? Is it so they can go in and fight for bills that pay them more money? I'm not sure if you know, but Congress can give themselves wages at any time that they want. They can working on that evidently take precedence over this legalized marijuana, which I understand. I really do understand. It's important. It's a medicinal thing, and I think that is the uh, biggest drug out there right now that is causing this whole war on drugs. That's costing us millions of dollars, billions of dollars every year. Why not make this potentially medicinal substance legal? Stop prohibition of it. They did that with alcohol, and look what happened. We went from having gang members shoot up places over moonshine, over bourbon. You had them quit that and started selling it legally. Pretty soon, the states and the federal government started reaping the benefits of the taxes from that. So why not just make it legal? But that's more important than a pandemic, evidently. I don't know. Go figure. You make the call. What do y'all think? Drop me a comment. Tell me what y'all think about that legalized marijuana bill as opposed to uh, COVID relief. Other news today that I saw today. Etsy. Yeah, it freaked me out too. How can Etsy make the conservative news? They took a lady's sweater down. The headline says Etsy bans MAGA knitter for harmful misinformation. So the e-commerce platform Etsy says it's stamping out harmful misinformation from knitters making MAGA themed beanies. Yeah, where are my beanies? And I've actually got a line of beanies coming out too. They have my logo, not this style. They're the kind that has a fold on them. The kind, not this fold, but the kind that you see the Chicanos down here with their heads like, "What's up?" That kind of beanie. It's going to have a logo on it. It should be out here within the next couple of days. I've got the design. It's a simple design. Just has my my profile picture on there and whatnot, but it'll be out. But e-commerce platform Etsy says no to that because it's harmful. It is misinformation. So essentially, what Etsy just did, they just joined in my books Facebook, Twitter, and I'm not going to say the other name right now because I'm on that platform right now and I don't want to get kicked off of it. I like coming on this platform, but the likes of Facebook and Twitter saying, who say that they can determine who is spreading information. Now, when I first looked at this beanie, I saw "Stop the Steal." I'm an old baseball fan. Stop the steal, throw the ball to second before the runner gets there, tag him out. And looking at this beanie too online, it's kind of just red, white, and blue. Okay, I can see that's got a star on there. It stops the steal to me. Hey, stop this steal. Stop him from catching second base. However you want to call it. That's my thought on it. The elections, okay, I can get that. Stop Joe Biden from stealing the elections because I believe he is stealing of the elections. There's thousands and thousands of affidavits out there right now. There's hundreds of eyewitnesses that have testified to that. But guys, this is a beanie on Etsy. I went out and I did a quick search on Etsy. There is there are countless items out there that are anti-Trump. I can call it hate speech. For one, you've all seen that toilet bowl brush that has the Trump spiky hair on it. To me, that could be considered hate. I saw candles with explicative that starts with F, Trump. That's hate speech. I've almost got fired for words less than that. We won't go into that. That's a different story. But um, you've got companies like Etsy now. What they're going to claim is Article or Section 203, Article C, I believe it is, of Section 203, which gives them the right to basically remove anything that they deem harmful, incorrect, or whatnot. And they put it in their terms of service, the same terms of service that nobody reads all the way through. They just scroll down to the bottom and hit I agree or I accept, whatever that is. So Etsy's taking part and utilizing this Section 203. That's the same Section 203 that Twitter and Facebook specifically are being accused of uh, taking advantage of, which is them taking away our right to do that. Everybody in this country, and really and truly, my personal opinion, world, I don't care if you're part of the Communist Party of China, you have to speak your mind. It's a God given right. People like Etsy, Facebook, and Twitter now making the decision to say what is wrong, what is right, what's harmful, what's politically correct, what's woke, all of that. To me, it just screams, you're not allowed to speak your mind. You're not express yourself through your crafts, through your arts, through your verbalization. None of that. You're not allowed to do that because of companies like Etsy, Facebook, and Twitter who find it harmful. Yet companies like Netflix can show child pornography. Where's the freedom of that? And speaking of merch now, and I'm kind of going through these topics really quick. Somebody stop me, slow me down, ask me a question, something. But speaking of merch, one of my favorite politicians, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. Y'all know how much I really love her politics. She is a sponsor of the Green New Deal, after all. Before I get to that, I'm going to have to take a little sip of my drink. And also, I'm going to have to remind y'all, if you like the content I talk about, if you like what you see, if you don't, if you want to dissent with what I have, if you want to leave me a comment of why you think I'm saying something is wrong, or you want to add on to what I'm showing you already, drop me a like. Drop me a comment down there. There's these little things down here called the comments. There's a little chat feature over there, that side. Subscribe and share. You do all of that. Let me know what you think of the content I'm putting out there. I do this from wherever I am in the country. I travel the country for a living. This week, I just so happened to be at home. Well, actually, I'm not at home. Look at this. I'm gonna lean over to the right a little bit. Look at that awesome village back there. I'm at my girlfriend's house doing this live stream, and she did an awesome job with that. Oh, I gotta lean, and I'm hurting. Awesome job with that village there. She just loves these decorations. You see those right there? Just to point those out real quick. Those are quilts. I don't know if you can see that one. Those are family quilts that she has put in frames. I never would have thought of that. You know, it's just a colchon for me, just a blanket. But man, look at that. She put those in frames. Awesome job. Awesome job. I got to give it to her on that. And I'm not just saying it because I'm here, but yeah, it's just awesome job. This is stocking on the chair for a hat. I just noticed. See that chair right there's got a big Santa hat on it. I just noticed that myself. So back to merch. I'm sorry, a little tangent, but back to merch. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez has already started fundraising for apparently for her 2022 campaign, which was also the same year I was going to run for Congress. So those of you following me, I'm not going to run for Congress. I'm going to run for city council first. Keep an eye on this. You're going to see my campaign links later on as we go along. But Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is already fundraising for her 2022 campaign. Brings to my point exactly. And these representatives, they don't care about what they're actually doing during their actual term. They just care about fundraising. In the last 3 months of this congressional session, they're 3 months. They had 10 weeks off for quote unquote in district work. Now, what in district work is supposed to be is I'm supposed to go meet with the constituents of my district to see what they want so I can bring those issues back to Washington, D.C. and be a true representative of my people. But these guys aren't doing that. They're out there campaigning and they're fundraising. And as soon as they get there, it is highly encouraged for each one of these congressional representatives to go start a super PAC of their own, to go start a nonprofit organization where they can get tons of money dumped in there that's not disclosed. So you see kind of where I'm getting here. But Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, who in the last race raised $17.3 million. How? She claims it's all grassroots. There's not that many people in her district. She claims that her district is one of the poorest ones because they're the least taken care of. It's in the Bronx. It's blah, blah. It's not grassroots raising $17 million in the middle of the Bronx. These people don't have that kind of money. There's not that many people there. But her merch, she's selling $60 for a t-shirt. I think she's trying to be up there with the likes of Kanye West selling his shirt, his merch, Drake. She's not. She is not at all. In fact, some of the stuff she has in there tax the rich. Miss Ocasio Cortez, you raised $17.3 million last term. You're rich. You started a brand just off of your name. You're rich, so let's tax you. There's also one, the Green New Deal, of course, the Green New Deal. I guess she's trying to raise money so she can fund this Green New Deal that wants to replace all the windows in buildings because they're too big and they let in too much light. Abolish ICE is another cap that she's selling. Let me talk about that. Just 5 minutes before this, I started this live stream. 5 minutes. I was checking my TikTok, which if you want to go follow me on TikTok, look up at what's it called? I'm sorry, at Texas Latino Conservative. There you go. TX Latino Conservative. Go look me up. So 5 minutes before I started this podcast, I read a comment. The Mexicans don't claim you. About me, another racist comment to me, go figure, because I'm so racist. I'm so white supremacist. I'm so anti-black, or I'm on the opposite side of that too. I am anti-white. I am this, whatever. Give me a break, guys. Or hold on, let me use Joe Biden's term because it works. Come on, guys. But this Latino guy said the Mexicans don't claim you because of stuff like this. I agree with ICE. I do. Because on my way back, as an example, on my way back from California, I stopped in El Paso. I stopped in Phoenix first and then in El Paso. And in El Paso, I wanted to go see the wall. I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to go see the wall. So I did. And on the way there, I made a stop at a gas station so I can get some gas. And I was almost mugged. You know, me, I'm not a tiny guy by any means, but I had um I was going to make a stop right before that gas station, and I didn't. I made a wrong turn evidently. I was right by the border too. In fact, I can see the bridge. And I saw a bunch of guys that were just kind of standing around. I know I'm being judgmental. I really know I'm being judgmental, but these guys, of course, they're all Mexican guys. Obviously, they came over from the border. Two of them started walking towards me. I was still in my car, and it wasn't the kind of walk like, "Hey, we need help," that type of walk. Because I've had those people. People come walk up to your car, and I've had that kind of walk before. I see it all the time. I live in Houston. It happens all the time. This was the "What the f are you doing here?" or "Que chingas," that type of walking up to you. Of course, you know me. I had to turn around and go. Went put my gas at that gas station. Evidently, it was close enough to those other guys because they showed up again. Put my gas, got in the car, and booked. Didn't look back. Reasons like that are why I believe groups like ICE are important because they help keep us safe. Could they be reformed? At 100% necessary. 100%. Could they use some reform? I think so. I think there could be some reform. I just saw a video where multiple videos where police their de-escalation tactics were stupid. You know, you must obey me, that type of thing. No, you don't de-escalate a grown man like that. You don't. I'm sorry. Especially if you're coming up with him with no reason, no explanation. No, use a different, use a different tactic. So yes, I believe these groups are important. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she is out here raising money already for her 2022 campaigns, and these funds for this is going straight to her, probably her nonprofit organization that she's already started, because everybody starts a nonprofit when they get into Congress, and then they can do like Joe Biden does for his nonprofit, the cancer research organization, or it's not actually an organization for cancer research. It's a organization that's supposed to donate to cancer research. However, the money he's supposed to be donating to the cancer research, he never has. And this is his official 501.3, 501c tax filings. He's just paying his salary over $20 million worth of salary. So she is raising money for her campaign already with these high price Yeezy price clothing, t-shirts, beanies, and stuff like that. And sweet, I got 4 likes on this video. Let's see, next topic. Trump aide banned from the DOJ after trying to get case information. We're tired of hearing about the elections. I am too. But, since they're going on right now, I still got to talk about them some. I still got to talk about them. So the Trump aide banned from trying to get from the DOJ after trying to get information about the elections. The official serving as President Donald Trump's eyes and ears at his department has been banned from the building after trying to pressure, quote unquote, big air quotes, staffers to give up information about election fraud and other matters she could relay to the White House. 3 people familiar with the matter tell Associated Press. So she is getting information which could be considered evidence about the election fraud cases. Have y'all been watching that lately? Have y'all been watching the cases going on about this election fraud? Drop me a comment if you about your opinion on these election fraud cases. What's going on with those? Because quite honestly, after watching Michigan's, hearing hundreds of people talk about what they witnessed, It's pretty crazy. Like legit fraud is happening. Legit. Then having somebody get denied access to that information. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, guys. But having someone denied it, I just got TikTok challenged, by the way, just so y'all know. But having um, someone denied information that could a case as big as these, as big as these, that itself should be illegal. Now, I don't know the process that they went through, if they got a subpoena, if they did this or that, but I do know it's kind of in line with what the election workers have been going through as it is. Many of these official under oath testimonies submitted in writing through an affidavit punishable by perjury that are evidence, in other words, many of those were talking about how much they got bullied, how they got threatened, almost physically assaulted. In fact, I think one guy actually said he was physically assaulted. Kind of the similar case here. You know, whatever happens to a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, right now it's by the party. It is not by the people, it's of the or of the people or by the people. It's for the party, by the party, and of the party. Trying to build a case is it requires a lot of stuff. Now I understand there are legal processes, legal proceedings that you need to go through to get this evidence. And I am going to assume that someone who is on a team that is challenging the process that has gone through the election procedures, I'm assuming that they're going to follow the same process, the correct process to get that evidence, which you got to go to a court, submit it in writing, and do it within a certain amount of days, all that good stuff. Each state has their own. I'm guessing this highly advanced legal team that Donald Trump has knows the laws for the state that they're going to file in. So they followed that process, but they were denied still. I know I've requested evidence before in a case of my own. And what I had to do, went down to the courthouse, submitted in writing, and I didn't get it back in time. I didn't get the evidence back in time. So what happened was my case was dropped. I wonder if that can here. Not so much the case being dropped, but the charges, the case being found in favor of. We don't want this case dropped. We don't. But if the opposing refusing to give evidence, if the process has been filed and completed correctly, wouldn't that almost be an admission of guilt? The burden of the proof of guilt is with the accusing party. But at the same time, if I'm trying to prove that you're guilty, I'm under official investigation. Georgia is under official investigation. I have to defend myself, right? Isn't that the process? It goes on to say Stirrup is accused of approaching staffers in the department, demanding they give her information about investigations, including election fraud matters. The people said they spoke on condition of anonymity. I can't say that word ever, not see an enemy with this isn't Finding Nemo. Anonymity, because they were not authorized to publicly disclose the matter. The effort came as Trump continues to level allegations that he won the election and alleges that massive voting fraud was responsible for being defeated by Joe Biden. So we're back to that. So here's another topic I just saw. GOP senator seeks to make doxing government officials a crime. I agree. So I know it's a little off topic from elections and Carol Baskin and whatnot. My hat's a little crooked now. So I was distracted over here and it made me move my hat. But what doxing is, it's looking up information. Now, the looking up of information isn't illegal by any means, but specifically in this case, people are looking up information of government officials seeking to do bad stuff, whether it's harass them, assault them, whatever, bully them. It's seeking to do bad stuff of government officials. Not being judgmental, not being categorical or anything like that. But it's normally the left that does this. Normally the left. They'll go and find politicians, find elected officials, find out where their family is, and then harass them, harass their families. Dan Bongino, he's not even a public official yet, but people recognized him in Washington, D.C. and practically assaulted him. Now, Dan is a big guy. They practically assaulted him and his wife because he is a conservative. And it's mostly the liberals that are doing this action. So I can definitely see why this could be something that would be of interest of elected officials. The article says amid a summer of protests cannot continue in the next administration, an error of social media trolling Republican senators introduced legislation to make it a crime to dox a government official or their family members. No public servant should be endangered or subject to harassment for doing their job. And they're not. This is also where I say Texans know Texans, New Yorkers know New Yorkers. And what I mean by that, Texas has become recently the most diverse state in the union. We've got people in here from California, from Chicago, from New York. It's like everybody from blue states is moving to Texas. You go look at Austin, my goodness, it looks like San Francisco almost reversed, but it looks like it's San Francisco. The way the people there, a lot of people from San Francisco there, believe it or not. But if you are from one of those, it doesn't happen in Texas much at all, by the way. I'm just using Texas as an example. If you're from one of these other states and you're trying to make the new state that you live in similar to where you left and you're unsuccessful at it, you don't go and approach the politician's family to harass them or bully them. If you want to reach out to your representative, you do it in a official manner. Give them a phone call, write them a letter, send them an email. Every one of these guys has contact information on the official government website. You do not go out and seek to basically reach out to them with means, with intent of doing harm or bullying or threatening them. You don't do that. That's actually illegal. Threatening to do harm is just as bad as doing harm in some states. But what I mean by Texans know Texas, most officials in Texas are Texans, and they've been Texans for years. There's some diversity in there, and there's some political dissent in the House, the state legislator and the state legislative house. There's some dissent in there, as there should be. Not everything should be 100% agreeable all the time. That's not how it works. You don't reach everyone's needs that way. But these Texans, they know Texans. They don't know Californians. They don't know New Yorkers, however you say that. They don't know them, but they know Texans. So they're going to represent Texans how a Texan would represent a Texan. even in Congress. Buddy mine, Michael Cloud, who is the congressman in Victoria, he represents Victoria and Corpus Christi, that area, and he represents the people. There was a guy named Ricky de la Fuente from California that an apartment, Silvermine Apartments, some of these the scuzziest apartments in Victoria, the cheapest apartments in Victoria. He rented out an apartment in Victoria just so he can run for Congress in District 22 or 27. I forget the number. 27, which is Victoria and Corpus. He didn't know Victoria and Corpus. He didn't know Texas. How could you manage that? But what you're not going to go do is you're still not going to go find out his address. Sorry, I found his address. I know I did, but he wasn't ever there at the apartment, so it's no biggie. But even with that, I wouldn't have gone in and harassed him or anything. I might have written him a letter to his address, or better yet, I probably would have if he won, I would have emailed him. I would have called him, called his office, written his office a letter so I could work with him, so I can tell him what the people of Victoria want. Because even though I don't live in Victoria right now, I live in Alvin, I'm still Victoria. I know Victoria. Grew up there, born and raised there. Most of my friends are from Victoria. It's my people. The only reason why I live this far right now, well, I've got two reasons now. One is my kids and one's my girlfriend because we're all in the same area. But I, I know Victoria. I make regular trips there. I would feel very comfortable if a Democrat won in Victoria. I'd feel very comfortable running for Congress there because I don't have to live there to run there. It's just a fact. Either way, I'm getting a little long-winded here. It's over the 30-minute mark, guys, and that's usually where I like to shut it off. So what I'm going to do right now, just another 1 minute, one more reminder: hit that like button, share, subscribe, do all that stuff that you normally do. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers because what that will let me do is this little thing right here. It'll let me stream from right here. I got a wish notification. I'll tell them what they want to sell me now. Probably because I was looking. Oh, I'm not going to say what I was looking at. That's a secret. But it will let me stream live from there. Right now, I'm kind of confined to the laptop, and I've got a microphone here. I've got my webcam up here, so I'm kind of confined. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can do this wherever I am. I do minisodes pretty much every day. What a minisode is to me, it's a video that's between 15 seconds and 1 minute long. Just little rants and raves, as I like to call them. I post videos that I have on from my TikTok up there quite often, but it's just little bites, little thoughts for the day. You know, my good friend Vato Claus comes on there every now and then. You get to see what he's going to do. Which, by the way, I talked to him. I talked to him the other day, and he's going to be at Smoking D's Barbecue in Alvin on Sunday. So if you're in the Alvin area and you want to go check out Vato Claus, he's going to be at Smoking D's Barbecue on Sunday for a toy drive. My name is Andrew Alvarez, guys. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me, listening to me rant and rave. Love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a good night.